grew up with lots of different kinds of music at home. Classical music, jazz, blues. First kind of stuff that I got into was like blues and rock, like Led Zeppelin, Hendrix, this kind of stuff. Being a guitarist, that was the first stuff I got into. But I don't know about first memories of what I listened to. I'm not sure. I really can't remember. And so, I guess I was, especially while I was here. When I was living here in Glasgow, I think I took a lot of influence from people that I was playing with. Maybe not so much Scottish music in general, although I definitely listened to a lot of Scottish music, but I never sort of went there looking for inspiration, but it was just all around me anyway in the music scene, you know. But I think I've just listened to stuff from everywhere, always. Not really thought about it as being always so Scottish or, you know, British or American. I just think it's just music, but definitely influenced me a lot while I was here. I think in a way it was kind of good for the kind of stuff I was writing, because I felt a bit liberating, because when you're part of the scene here, I think you kind of feel like you have to go with the trends of the scene and stuff. So it's good from that point of view, you know. I felt a bit like open to do what I wanted to do, and maybe sort of changed how I was doing stuff because of that. But definitely a very different music scene in Italy. Glasgow's music scene is just amazing. So obviously, I think what I miss the most is listening to live bands and just seeing shows, because that really gives you a boost. You know, gives you ideas, gives you motivation, and I don't see so much of the kind of music that I make in Italy there. So you have to kind of find stuff yourself and just listen to records and stuff, and odd concert here and there. I have to go up to Milan to find those. They have introduced me to quite a lot of new music. There's a really great scene in Belgium and in Brussels. So our guitarist has introduced me to lots of bands there and stuff. There's a great scene there, really, really talented musicians, and it's cool. So yeah, I guess a bit. But I think we all kind of listen to similar stuff, you know, and coming from a similar place anyway. So we kind of share a lot of stuff that we listen to already. But yeah, no, I don't know how much that's influenced what we do. I think it's definitely influenced what they do as musicians in the band, individually, you know. Like Marco there in Belgium's definitely been influenced the way he plays and the way he approaches the guitar because of the scene there. Also probably Ricardo, our drummer, as well in London. So yeah, it probably seeps in somehow. My brother introduced me to Isaac Asimov. He got me a book, and I read a part of it when I was really busy and I wasn't really concentrating much on it, and then I put it to one side for like a year or two, and then I picked it up again and started reading the first of the Foundation series, his most famous series. So we told the line was taught as violin string. It kind of came about by chance. Like, I wanted to write this one song that was based on like a character in one of his books, and then from there I just started to enjoy the idea of working on songs that are a bit, you know, different kind of subject matter. It seemed like a kind of interesting thing to do, and yeah, I enjoyed working in it like that. So I started delving into some of the themes in his books. I mean, the only song on the record is the last song on the record, which is actually linked with one of the characters from his books. The other songs are just sort of based on a lot of the ideas in his books. There's like, yeah, stuff about robots and just space in general, and like certain concepts that he has in his books, which are relatively complicated to explain, but they're really interesting and really forward thinking, and it's cool and relevant, you know. So yeah, that was the kind of idea. But there's a bit of everything in there. There's like kind of love stories and like some sort of slightly depressing chat about our current situation of how we're screwing over the earth, this kind of stuff, you know, it's all in there. There's a bit of everything. Yeah, you had some really forward-thinking ideas, and so many of them are, you know, coming to me, and I don't know. I think it's, yeah, he was a really smart guy, and just that's what's so great about his books. It's not just fiction. It's really it's kind of a mix between science and fiction, and that's obviously the genre. But you know, I think he does it so well. He's amazing. So it is really relevant today, yeah. And I would definitely recommend people to read the books, for sure. Took a loan from the bank, took a long shot. I think that is something that all musicians are probably striving to do. Make music which is going to last beyond this moment in time. Maybe not all musicians, but certainly something that I think is worth striving for. It's not that easy to achieve, but it's definitely something worth striving for. Making something which is going to last in time, which is maybe not even of the moment, but hopefully, you know, some point in the future we'll pick up a bit of momentum and we'll have, you know, some significance to somebody in the future. Yeah. Not really. Like, I think it was either going to be a record which is kind of focused around all kinds of, you know, topics and personal things or little stories here and there, a bit like the first record. Or it was going to be something a bit different, and I just decided to go down that route after I wrote this first song. Oliver is the first song I wrote of this new record. So that kind of just sent me on that path, and it sort of seemed right. Seemed like an interesting thing to do. But where is the difference? No, probably not. Yes and no. I mean, I think I think all the songs have got their own little world there, and that's kind of the idea with the sort of sci-fi theme as well. Like, it's like they're all quite kind of separate from one another in a way. They're linked in certain other ways, but I think every song has got its own little kind of thing. So both these songs, I mean, the first one we put out, it's a ballad, and it's kind of there's a couple other ones maybe like that on the record, but there are a lot more kind of upbeat ones as well. There's quite a bit more to see and hear in the coming releases, I reckon. I hope that they work to, you know, do that for people. I feel like that's the kind of music that I'd like to make. Music people really have to listen to, you know. Put your headphones on or pair of good speakers and really listen to it, you know. It's not really passive music. So in that way I hope people can sort of get dug into these individual songs and kind of get the world that we're trying to create around them. Just kind of linked with the artwork for the record as well. We did a set of photographs with this photographer down in London called Carlotta Cardana. She's great, and she did a photo for every song, which kind of links with the feel of the song, you know. So that's the idea, yeah. That's the idea.